Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial video. My name is Osetale. This video is a continuation from my last video. In my last video, I shared with you guys how we drafted out the pattern for the making of this blouse. If you haven't seen that video, use the link you are seeing on the screen right now to watch it because this video is going to be all about the sewing tutorial. So guys, let's get started. So guys, in my last video I shared with you all how to draft this pattern, and after we were done drafting, we went ahead to transfer them to our fabric. These two here are the front pieces and these other ones are the back pieces. I'm just going to go ahead to explain to you guys how I cut them out. So guys, this one is the center front. You can see I cut it on fold and I cut both the lining and the actual fabric, and I added ½ inch to all the sides. So this other one is the side front. I also added ½ inch round it for the sewing allowance, and I cut two pieces of each, of the actual fabric and of the lining piece. Okay, this other one is the center back. You can see I have the zipper allowance. I added ½ inch round it, and I also cut two pieces of each, the actual fabric and the lining piece, and I did the same thing to the side back. So guys, that was how I went ahead to cut out all the pieces. Another thing I did was I iron stay to the center front piece. You can see, so I iron stay to it before I cut it out. So I just went ahead to iron my stay to it before cutting it out because it's easier to iron stay to your fabric before you cut it. Okay, I did not iron stay to the lining piece because there is no need for it. It's totally optional. You can choose to do it if you want. So for the side front, I also did the same thing. I iron stay to the actual fabric just like this, and I didn't iron stay to the lining piece as well. You can iron to yours, that's if you want. So for the back pieces, I did not iron stay to any of the pieces. You can see I did not iron stay to the actual fabric. I did not iron stay to the lining piece, so I just cut them out like that. So guys, this is totally optional. If you choose to iron stay to your own, it is what you want. So I'm just marking the wrong face of my fabric now so that I wouldn't miss it while I'm sewing. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead to place the back pieces aside. I'm also going to place the lining pieces of the front aside so that I can start working on the actual fabric. So the first thing I will do to the actual fabric is I'm going to join it together just like this. To do that, I'm just going to place it together like this. Then I'll place the two waist area together. So I notched it to identify it. So I just place the two waist area together and I pin it down. I'm just going to go ahead now to pin it. Okay, so when you get to this place where the bustier starts from, you're just going to go ahead and pin the curve. Can you see what I'm doing? So just place it together like this and you're going to pin it all the way to the end. So guys, after I was done pinning, this is what I have it to be looking like. Now I'll take into the sewing machine and I'm just going to sew it using ½ inch, which is the sewing allowance that I added. Then I'll do the exact same thing to this other side. This is what I had after I was done joining the front pieces together. You can see. So this is what you're going to have it looking like. And I did the exact same thing to the lining pieces. Now you will notice that this end here is looking sharp, and I don't want it to be like that. So I'm just going to fold my fabric together just like this. Then I will use my curve ruler to just curve it out so that it wouldn't be looking sharp anymore. So after you are done curving it out like that, you're just going to cut it out. Then you will do the same thing to the lining piece. So after you are done curving it out like that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to join the lining piece to the actual fabric. Okay, so you're going to place it the right size facing each other. Then you're going to take it to your sewing machine and you're going to sew the neck. After you are done sewing the neck, so at the end here, I'm also going to join it at the end here, but I'm going to be joining it with my crinoline and my hemming gum. So I'm just going to place my crinoline on it just like this. So place the actual fabric and the lining pieces together, place your crinoline on it. Then you're going to place your hemming gum on top of the crinoline. Can you see what I'm doing? So you're going to just go ahead to pin it down. I'll just pin this down to actually show you guys what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so you're just going to continue to place it on it like that. Then you take it to your sewing machine and you're going to sew it all the way to the other end. This is what I had after I was done sewing the neck. First of all, you are going to top stitch the neck. Okay, so after sewing the neckline, you will just make notches on it and you're going to top stitch it to the lining side. Okay, so after I was done top stitching the neckline, I went ahead to sew my crinoline to the down part just as I demonstrated. So I just joined everything together using my crinoline and the hemming gum. Now I'm going to be top stitching it also to the lining side. So just make sure that your sewing is facing the lining side, okay? And you're going to make a top stitch on it just like that. So after I was done top stitching, I went ahead to flip my fabric to the right side and I iron it out very well. So this is what you're going to have it looking like. You can see how it is standing because of the crinoline that I added. If I didn't add crinoline, it's not going to be standing like that. Okay, now moving over to the back pieces, I'm just going to go ahead to first of all join the back pieces together. Okay, so I'm just going to open them up on the table, place the lining piece aside. So these two here are the two center back pieces, you can see, and these other two are the side pieces of the back. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join them together. Okay, so I'm just going to place one of the center back together with one of the side back. I'll place it together like this. I'll make sure that I place the two waist area together just the way you see me doing. Then I'm going to pin it down. Then after doing that, I'm just going to pin it all the way to the other end just like this. So guys, after you are done pinning, now you will take it to the sewing machine and you're just going to join it using 1/2 inch, and you will do the exact same thing to the other back piece, and you will do the exact same thing to the lining pieces as well. This is what I had after I was done joining them as I demonstrated, you can see. So this is what you're going to have it looking like. These are the back pieces and these other ones I joined them as well. Now I'm also going to be eliminating this pointed mat that I have here. You can see how it's looking pointed. I do not want that, so I'm just going to place it together with the lining piece so that I can cut the both of them at the same time. So just place the lining piece and the fabric together like this, and you're going to use your curve ruler to just curve it out, just exactly what I did for the front piece. Then go ahead and cut it out just like this. After you are done covering it out like that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to also sew the lining pieces and the actual fabric together. So to do that, first of all, just mark the wrong face. Now I'm going to place the actual fabric and the lining piece together. I'll place the ones that correspond to each other. Make sure that the right faces are facing each other. Then the first thing I will do is I'm going to sew the neck area here. So I'll sew the neck, then I will sew the zipper allowance just like this. Then when I get to the end here, I'm also going to be adding my crinoline and my hemming gum to sew it, just exactly what I did for the front piece. So just place your crinoline on it, place your hemming gum on top of it, and you're going to go ahead and sew it on it just all the way to the other end. Then you will do the exact same thing to the other back piece. This is what I had after I was done sewing it just as I demonstrated. So this is it, guys. This is it from the back, you can see. So this is what you're going to have it looking like. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to fix my zipper to the back piece. So this is the zipper I'll be making use of. I will start fixing the zipper from the end. Okay, I'm going to start fixing the zipper from the end here. So just place your zipper on the end like that. So make sure that you fix it all the way from the end to the top. Okay, then when you get to the top, you cut out all the excesses and finish it up. So this is what I had after I was done fixing the zipper, and this is how it's looking like. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to join the shoulders. So I'll just place the front piece on the back piece like this. Then I'm going to place the shoulder. I'll open it up. Then I will also open up the shoulder of the front piece. I'll make sure that this area where I joined it is matching together just like this. Can you see? Then I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. After I'm done pinning, I'll pin the two lining pieces together. Then I'll also pin the two fabric pieces together as well. Then after you are done pinning, take it to the sewing machine and sew it down. Then you do the same thing here. This is what I had after I was done joining the shoulders. So now the next step would have been for me to attach the sleeve, but for this blouse I'm not going to be adding sleeve. I just want it to be like casual. So if you choose to add sleeve to your own, it's totally what you want. I'm not going to be adding sleeve to my blouse. So I'm going to be reducing the shoulder area here. So what I currently have is 16 inches. I don't want the shoulder to be too wide, so I want it to be about 12 inches. So I'm just going to measure what I have. So what I have remaining is 1.5 inches. So I'll cut out 1 inch from the two sides, so the other half inch is going to be for the sewing allowance. So I just measured 1 inch and I'll connect it to meet the armhole. So just connect it to blend with the armhole, just the way you see me doing. Then here you also measure 1 inch and you connect it to blend with the armhole as well. So guys, after doing that, go ahead and cut it out. Now that I'm done trimming it out, I'm going to sew the armhole from the inside. But first of all, you can see because I cut it here, it's already loosening. You're just going to re-sew it here and here. Then after you are done re-sewing it there, you're going to place your fabric inside. Can you see what I just did? So place your fabric inside, then place the two armholes together. At the shoulder, you're just going to first of all pin down the shoulder, then you're going to pin it all the way to the other end. Then you will do the same thing here. So after you are done pinning, you will take it to your sewing machine and sew. But if you find this step difficult, you can just use fabric to turn the armhole instead of having to go through all this stress. But I just wanted mine to be invisible sewing. You can see what I have now. It looks so pretty. So this is it, guys. This is what you're going to have it looking like. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides. So first of all, I'm just going to place the two sides together like this, then I will pin it down. After you're done pinning it on this side, you also pin this other side as well. Now after pinning the two sides down, you're going to take your body measurement. So just measure your round bust measurements divided by 2, your round under bust measurements divided by 2, your round waist measurement divided by 2, then you join it down. This is what I had after I was done joining, guys. You can see how it came out. So this is it. Another thing I went ahead to do was to tack this side here. So after I was done joining it, the fabric was showing out, so the seam allowance was showing, so I just tack it to the fabric so that it wouldn't show. So guys, this is it for the making of this beautiful 6 pieces blouse. Thank you so much for watching.